Welcome to Priority Standard 14.3. This one is talking about area of parallelograms and area of triangles. So make sure you've completed the warm-up as a class. The learning target today is I can find the area of parallelograms and triangles. Okay, so warm-up was done as a class, so move on to activity number 1. So activity number 1, we have 4 parallelograms and we're going to try to find the area of them. So we know the area of a parallelogram, area equals base times height. And remember, the base and the height of a parallelogram need to form a right angle. And then we can find the area of it. So for A, parallelogram A, our base is 10 and our height is 6 because I look at this right angle, this square. So we just multiply 10 times 6, which equals 60 centimeters squared. So that one's nice and easy. If you like, you're welcome to cut the triangle off, move it over here, and then you could see, oh, this is a rectangle that is 10 by 6, and you multiply 10 times 6 to find that area of the rectangle. But it's the same for a parallelogram. If you know the correct base and height, then you can find the area. So for B, the first thing I'm always going to do is look for this right angle. So this right angle. Remember, the base and height connect with the right angle. They're perpendicular with each other. So I notice this side connects with the right angle for 8 as the height. So the dotted line almost is always the height for parallelograms. So those are making a right angle. They're perpendicular with each other. So the base would be 15 and the height would be 8. 10 is not the height or the base because it doesn't form a right angle with each other. So we're going to do 15 times 8. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 plus 4 is 12. So 120 centimeters squared. So for C, again, I'm looking for this right angle. So I see the right angle there. I notice if this is a right angle, then the opposite side will also be a right angle. Okay, so if this side is 9, then this side is also 9. So I could look at it here. Okay, I see 9 and this dotted line form a right angle with each other. Okay, so that means 9 is our base and the dotted line is our height, 7. 8 is not our base or height because there's no right angle connected to the 8. So I'm going to multiply 9 times 7. You can use your finger trick, multiplying by 9s. And 9 times 7 is 63, so 63 centimeters squared. Okay, last one. You can do lots of strategies, but I'm going to find the base. I'm going to pick the bottom for the base because I can count from corner to corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the height needs just to form a right angle with the base. So I'm going to pick this for my height. It forms a right angle, and then I count how tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I multiply 7 times 5, which is 35 centimeters squared. So make sure you know how to do those. Again, you could have tried it your own way and then check to see if you got the answers right. So that's activity 1. Next one. So 2 polygons are identical if they match up exactly when placed one on top of the other. So it says draw one line to decompose each of the following polygons into 2 identical triangles if possible. So one thing we know about so I'm going to try to make 2 identical triangles. So a square is nice and easy. You can draw a line right here, and then notice we have 2 identical triangles there. Some of them are a little bit trickier than others, but I could split it here, it looks like. And then if I rotated it the right way, they could match one on top of the other. Here, since the opposite sides are not the same, these angles are not the same as each other, it's not going to work. So I'm going to not pick that one. For D, I could split it up diagonally, and then I have 2 right triangles. For E, if I tried to split it up, this angle is not the same as this angle, so E does not work. So F, let's see if I split it diagonal. I could trace one triangle. These 2 triangles are identical. And then if I split it up right here, these triangles are identical. Okay?
Well, thank you for your time.
So, sorry. I'm doing a video.
Hi, I'm working on your log.
Okay, I'm just in the middle of a video. Okay, so if I trace this and move it over, then I can make two identical triangles. So notice these two shapes are not parallelograms. They don't have the opposite or the same, but I could see two identical triangles make up a parallelogram. So that is great to know. Okay, so moving on to this last part. So since I know two identical triangles can make a parallelogram, I know a triangle is half of the area of a parallelogram. So if I know that, then I'm going to use that to find the area of a triangle. So since I know, if I could find the area of this square, for example, then I could cut the area of the square in half to just find the area of one of the triangles. So to find the area of the square, I would multiply 8 times 8. So 8 times 8 equals 64. But that would be if it's the whole square. And I'm just trying to find half of that area. I'm just trying to find the area of one of the triangles. So what I'm going to do is divide that by 2, or split it in half. So I know half of 4 is 2, half of 6 is 3. So the area of this one triangle would be 32 yards squared. This next one, I know I could technically trace over and then create like a rectangle like this. What I'm going to do is think, okay, I have my base of my triangle is 6, my height of my triangle is 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. But that would be the area if I had two triangles together, and a triangle is half of that. So I'm going to split that in half. So divide it by 2. And I know half of 30 is 15. So the area of this one would be 15 feet squared. Another thing I could do, since I put these two triangles together, I know it's half of 6 as the base. So it would be 3 by 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. So that was kind of another way to do it. Okay, this last one for number 3. I know the base of this triangle is 10, so from here to here is 10, and the height forms a right angle with it. So 10 and 8. So if it was a rectangle, I would do 10 times 8, and I would find out that the area is 80. But since it's a triangle is only half of a rectangle or a parallelogram. So I'm going to split it in half. So I'm going to do 80 divided by 2. Half of 80 is 40. So my area is 40 inches squared. So area of a triangle is different than the area of a parallelogram or a rectangle. We do base times height divided by 2. So you split it in half at the end. So base times height divided by 2. So that's how you find the area of a triangle. A triangle is half of the area of a parallelogram or a rectangle. So try to find, for the cool down, try to find the area of the parallelogram and then the area of a triangle. And then show Mrs.